Okay, good. You ready to go?
I'm ready whenever you
are. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we back again. Welcome to your favorite podcast. You know the name. Woo, woo, woo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the singing mic, Josh. The singing mic. Now, I always offer it to the guest. What you got?
Well, we're riffing with Griffin on a Monday afternoon. Me and my Erik, me and my dude, hanging out down here on the west side, waiting to get home time. I get high on Monday nights in my backyard. I go strong, I go hard. Here we go, me and my man, back to you. You could call me Stan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the accomplished Mr. Josh. Whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah. Let me tell you something. That is like some old school. That's an old school. Like that should be the beginning of a TV show. That credits rolling and you walking in.
I'm in a caddy.
Yeah.
I'm in a convertible caddy, and I'm just driving down the street, you know,
waving to the people on the show. Your neighbors coming out the door. Hey, Mr. Griffin. Yo, that good. Beat was nice.
You know, but it's so funny. Like, all the comics that come on and they age themselves with that rap style right there.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what it is. That's 100% what it is. You know, like my son and I like completely different rap. I like some.
I don't even call it rap what these kids like these days in comparison. But you know,
I played him UTFO, Roxanne.
Oh, but that doesn't necessarily stand up. But
no,
it doesn't. It's entertaining. Yes. I know what you mean, though.
But so I asked him, and I played him some Kool Moe Dee, and like, cause I was like, what about this stuff?
Yeah.
And then he was like, man, I don't really like it. And I was like, what is it you don't like? He was like, this whole beat is like.
I know. It's just.
He does, yeah.
It was before rap was musical. By the way, before we continue, because I love this discussion we're already having right now, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the very funny Mr. Josh Wolf.
Hello.
All right, so you're here. Yes, I know what you mean.
He feels like it's almost like a joke. Like he feels like a joke's coming.
You know what it is, because that's how it's used now.
Yeah.
Like when you look back on things, you don't look back at it with fondness necessarily, even unless you're like from that era.
Not at all. Like he didn't like Run the Jewels at all.
Yeah, he didn't like that. He wouldn't like none of that.
No, none of it. But he loves.
I want to be your man.
Yeah. Roxanne. That's not his thing at all. But he loves him some Logic.
Right.
He loves Logic. He loves Lil Dicky.
You know what's
he likes that style.
You know what's funny is like rap right now is like it's one of the it's an art form that we actually saw the birth of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're seeing old people. You know what's funny about some of the rappers? Like kids today don't even know they don't know Ice-T as a rapper. They think LL Cool J is an actor. You know what I mean?
And by the way, the fact that I've heard some people say that Nas isn't hip hop, I'm like, what are you saying to me?
That's how. See, that's a great example.
But Nas is like, he's on the Mount Rushmore, right?
There's kids that don't like Tupac. There's kids that don't like. They think Nas is old. You know what? Jay-Z's coming to his end. You know, he's just transitioned into someone that's like more of a mogul, more of some like he's found a way to stay relevant and hip, and he's with Beyonce, and they're a part of like sort of like a social movement, and like you know,
but same with Diddy.
Yeah.
He's not a rapper at all.
He never really was,
but you know,
yeah. But yeah. So it's like so those are people that have found a way to transition their thing. But like it seems like rap is like a young man's game. You know what I mean?
It's true. You know, so you know, Ice Cube has the 3-ball, right?
Yeah.
And so my son and I will watch it. But he asked me, he goes, "How come he's out there rapping?" And I was like, "Well, that's how he started." He was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why he's out there rapping."
Yeah.
He was like, "Why doesn't he get a real rapper to do it?" I'm like, "Oh, what?"
Oh, these
right?
kids today have no respect. No respect.
He thinks he's just this actor out there rapping before a game. I'm like, no, he is like he started a style of rap.
Like, you know, here's a hilarious part too, is them thinking that Ice Cube's a great actor, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. That's him award-winning actor. It's like, no, man. He was just a famous rapper that transitioned. He's a mogul.
I had never thought about that though, man, that we have seen the beginning of an art form.
Yeah, and now we're seeing so we're 50 years in.
Yeah.
Or however long, and now we're seeing like how it's these people have aged. You can't stay in it forever, or and how the sounds have changed,
Yeah.
and how But I always say coolness doesn't last long. It's like from 15 to say 27
Right.
is your time to be cool. Everything after that is you're no longer cool. If you're the 27-year-old at some party with 18 to 20-year-olds, you instantly become you don't realize this, but you're that guy that probably shouldn't be there, but they're still kind of like, well, okay, but it's just downhill from there.
Yeah.
And your coolness doesn't last. Like, we don't learn new dances.
No. And what we think is cool stays in our era.
Exactly. It's a time capsule, right?
Do you know how long it took me to really be okay with wearing jeans that were just a little tighter? Do you know what I mean? Because when I was growing up and short, when I was those were high waters, and you were made fun of.
God, and what's funny now is like a guy of your frame, you actually, what'll fit better with you? Girl jeans.
Yeah.
If you go to the store and go to get the girl, they fit better because they're designed to
it's
for
crazy.
Those childbearing hips.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really bananas. And now that the baggy things are coming back, I'm like, yeah, baby.
It's cycles, right? It's
bring
weird.
out those old 90 jeans.
I saw this thing about what's the dude from Harry Styles?
Yeah.
They saw this article. He's like, Harry Styles is bringing back bell bottoms. It's like, what is he bringing them back?
Yeah. Listen, Chris Porter tried.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. you know,
but he's not cool enough.
I heard him say why he stopped wearing those. It's because he had to get each pair custom made because he couldn't get them anymore.
Oh, you couldn't get? Yeah, because they're like, no, dude, nobody makes this anymore.
Oh, and for probably a good reason. I will tell you this though, I'm not happy that they brought back the high waisted jeans for women.
Yeah,
I don't think those look good on anybody.
Yeah, in any era,
it makes your vagina look real long.
Yeah,
that's not a adjective you want for a vagina,
and then it accentuates that belly area
for everybody. By the way, men and women. It makes your ass look long, and it makes whatever is in front look long.
Yeah, it just depends on the frame.
You'll be tall and thin to maybe even get away with that.
But that's my girlfriend's tall and thin, and when she goes to these fashion shows, because she's a model, she goes to these fashion shows, and they'll be
like how you drop that in there.
I know, Daddy's with a model. I gotta get this thing. This is how we do it. There's always a time for that.
I love the fact that you're like, you could have stopped tall and thin because when you said she's a model, you looked right at everybody because she's a model.
She's a model. People get on my case like, oh, you because you got money? Yeah.
Yeah, listen, guys.
I'm also charming as fuck, so fuck you guys.
By the way, because women put much more of a premium on a sense of humor than men do.
The things that are attractive to women are not the same things that men are attracted to. Like sense of humor, it ain't even in the top 10.
No, and I'm gonna tell you something. I just read an article, ready, where they did a survey, and they found out for top 3 for women was sense of humor in a man. You know what top 3 for man?
What?
A woman who will laugh at his jokes.
Hilarious.
But it says so much about us.
Exactly.
What it says about us is we want to be the center of attention.
I used to have a joke about this. It's like, so women it's like women like sense of humor.
Yep.
Make a good living.
Yep.
They want to get taken care of.
And don't be a child.
Right. Make a good living, right? The other ones are so practical.
Yeah.
A lot of times with men, you ask men, if you just behind closed doors, it's going to be like, nice titties.
Yeah.
Nice ass.
Cute
face.
Here's what I want. Honestly, this is if you were single right now, I'd be like, look, she does whatever I want in the bedroom.
Those are the things.
That's a thing.
She's experimental.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, you're willing to go, okay, well.
The lists are so different, dude.
Yeah, we'll try it.
One is made by a grown-up, and one is made by just us.
Yeah, I know. But the thing about us is we'll take 2 out of 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a top 3. But
sometimes we'll take 1 out.
You will just take 1. Yeah. The face is her face is pretty. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah, listen, she doesn't pronounce salmon with an L. I'll go out with her.
Yeah, whatever.
I broke up with a girl in college who pronounced salmon with an L.
Oh, that means you were really picky.
No, man, because she liked to make it for me a lot.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to move over a little bit more this way. Because you're like a laugh mover.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to laugh out of frame.
I am a laugh mover. I apologize.
This guy laughs like a black man in a fucking at a Martin Lawrence movie. like what are you doing? I need your ass to be right here.
It's the best description of my laugh.
Yeah, you got a black laugh.
Man.
But anyways, it is fun. Like, do you know your love languages? Did you do the love language test?
Spanish and French and Latin?
Oh God, no! You know the love languages, like acts of service, touch, physical touch. You never.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my God! I'm gonna open up the love languages.
I honestly
have because I've done it. You know, I did it with my girlfriend and I have both done it. And let me tell you something. It's actually now the actual doing of the test to me is even more important than the results, because when you're doing the test, the questions they ask you really say something about you when you're answering them. You got to go do this. But for instance, some of the love languages things are, look at me, I can't even see. Acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts. Okay? These are like some of the things. And they're ranked by how you answer the question. So that's the order of mine. I like acts of service, you know?
You like them to be able to do something for you?
Yeah, acts of, like pick me up from the airport. You know
what I've always said I
mean?
like, and it sounds super super strange, and my wife knows this. If I'm on the couch and I'm watching a show or a game or whatever,
right?
And you just bring me a sandwich I didn't ask for.
Acts of service.
If you bring me a sandwich I didn't ask for, man.
No, but check it out.
We're in.
I know my girlfriend's numbers are different. Hers are physical touch is first, receiving gifts is second. You know, it's like you need to know this about your partner.
Oh, I really want to do that. You send me the link for that?
I'll send you a link for it. But it's just called the love languages. You know, But I'm telling you that the test itself will be like for instance, it might be like, you're on the couch. Do you want her to do this, or do this? And those answers, you really go, damn, these are actually very interesting things, and you'll get the results you want. But anyway, here's my point. I like acts of service. My girlfriend just started picking me up from the airport.
Yeah.
You know, we used to fight about this because I like it a certain way. Like I come in on United. Here's the fucking parking lot for 7. I want you to be at the end of 7. You don't need to park at the beginning of 7 because when we come out the door, we can go to the car right here. That was a whole thing. And at first it was just about she's very stubborn. You're not gonna tell me what to do, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now she does it. She came to the airport and she had my favorite coffee, you know, and she's waiting there and she did the cutest thing. She was standing by the guys that have
the signs,
and she had her phone like, Erik, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, my heart fluttered.
Yeah.
My stomach, I was like, oh, this.
But that's the difference between having a girlfriend and being married for 20 years.
Oh, no,
like my wife.
No.
Yeah.
No, but
she's not doing that.
Yeah, but that's not the point though. What I'm saying is it's just the act of service. Because for her, she likes getting gifts, right? So that sounds bad to some people. I think that, but no. If I get her a $10 gift certificate from Starbucks, hey, I got this for you. The way she responds, I go, well, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
If that's your love language.
Do you know what it is for my wife? And she's asked me, she said that to me before.
Y'all should do it.
Because
change your marriage.
We're definitely gonna do that. But I've always, when I go away, I've always gotten at least one thing from my kids from the city I'm in. Now, for my youngest son, he always wanted a baseball hat. So through high school, I'm not kidding, he probably had 150 hats just hanging on his wall.
Right.
Because it signified every city I'd ever been in.
Right. That's good stuff.
Right. But little thing, doesn't have to be expensive. But my wife said to me, I brought her home something and she teared up. And I was like, what's the deal?
Fuck?
Yeah. She said, it's nice to know that you were thinking about me.
See what I'm saying? That's love language.
We don't think like that though.
I know, but that's why you got to take this test.
Yes.
Because not just for you to take the test.
For her too.
For her. Because here's the thing though. Something that we say don't value, let's say you don't value it, but to know that they value it means then you go, oh, because even if it means nothing to you, it's the reason why I always say I always tell young people, especially young women, stop worrying about a guy taking you to dinner. that shit ain't special. Cause I have to eat or I'll die. Yeah. so I'm taking you someplace nice.
Yeah.
But daddy got money. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Like you ain't getting over on me. You know? Like there's this idea that they're like, oh, well, you know, he took me to dinner. I'm getting a free meal. Like, bitch, we both getting meals.
Yeah. I'm coming here anyway.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'll come without you. I'd rather call my boy and be like, yo, Josh, let's go eat so we can have a good conversation about how dumb. So I'm just saying it's like, so, but when you know, like I would often say is like, I remember a long time ago when I was I went on a date, but she told me that she missed being from where she was from and taking her grandma to play bingo. And she would do that once a week. Guess where I took her on the first day? We went to play bingo. It's stupid. It was dumb.
No, but that's great, man.
I know, but what I'm saying is it ain't actually, it's that act of like one listening and like, you know, if that means something to someone. So that's what I'm saying. When you find out, it's a simple thing, but finding out the love languages is it's just one tool to be like, oh, you really value this.
Yeah.
You know,
I got to start. It's a great one.
Like physical touch is one of them.
Yeah.
So like some people are kind of like, you're kind of on me all the time. You know, maybe you don't like that.
Yeah.
But somebody else might be like physical touch is their number one. So that means they want the closeness. They want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, you just, you know, it's just how different men and women are.
Yeah.
And there are tools out there to find out how we can like figure out the Rosetta Stone.
That is a good one that I'm definitely going to take a look at.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to figure some things out.
Because now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't even say she drops hints. They're pretty solid clues.
It ain't even hints.
Yeah. It's like a message.
Yeah, but you need to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now, dude. And there's a bunch of easy things that I could do.
But the thing is like, here's the thing though. All right, I'm glad you said it like that. Because to me, it feels like because it's easy for you, you don't give it value.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So once you realize that and how great the equation now is, something that is so easy for you to do means so much to the other person, then fucking do it.
And you know what? It heads off at the pass the problems you have in the future.
Exactly. So like my girlfriend and I had broken up.
Oh my God.
We've been broken up for a while, you know, like a few months, you know, but even though we were still seeing each other, because that's, you know, you're so close to somebody, you don't just, but then we got back together and part of it was like me going like, okay, what's my issues? What was I doing wrong in the relationship? You know, like what was I, you know, and a lot of it has to do with like different thinking. You know, like if I want you to think a certain way and you're not thinking that way, and I'm getting mad that you're not thinking that way, maybe it's like once I realize, well, that person doesn't think that way. So me getting mad about it, that's my issue.
Dude,
that's a me problem.
I had a friend of mine who I'm not going to put our dirty laundry in the air, but somebody we both know who I'm dear friends with. We didn't talk for 2 years. And then because it was some shit he was doing. And then my brother said to me, he was like, hey, what's going on with so-and-so? I said, I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. He said, why? I told him. And he said, hey, man, not for nothing. I know that was shitty, but that's a you problem. And I said, why? He said, that's who he is. You can't get mad at somebody for who they are.
Yeah.
You either accept it or you don't. And if you don't, that's cool. That's up to you. But if you do, then you can't keep getting mad at him for who he is.
It's just recognizing the problem that you are causing because of this thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, you know, you're
not gonna change somebody else.
Right.
So you can either work amongst the confines of how they live their life and be okay with that or not.
Yes, man. My mom used to say that you have acceptable negatives and unacceptable negatives. So like an acceptable negative would be snoring.
Yes.
Okay.
Being late.
You know, see, not for me. Like I can't stand with people like, you know, like they're not considerate. I can't stand being inconsiderate is an unacceptable negative for me. But those are the kind of things I'm saying.
But what
you
level?
have different lists
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that you go like, no, because sometimes it's like, you know, when people just don't care about your time, they're just like, whatever. Like I can't stand when somebody pick you up from the airport, okay? And they go like, well, can you call me when you land? Hey, I land at 5.
The airline set that up.
Yeah,
for you.
they got it set up. So I'll see you at 5. You know what I mean? Like, that's me, man. I'm not. If you want me to pick you up from the airport, because guess what? Yeah. I'm at baggage claim. I'm sitting there like, hey, what's up, Josh?
Yeah.
You ready? You had the cars over here? You have bags? Okay, we're ready to go. You know what I mean? Because that's how I do it. I'm not circling the fucking airport waiting for you, you know, and you're like outside, like, where are you? I'm not there. I'm like, oh, hey, man. I'm like, okay, I'm coming now. Yeah. No. I know how fucked up it is to travel. Yep. I know how hard it is. I know how tired you are when you get off a plane. I'm going to be there. Okay? So I can't stay with, you know, when you land, give me a call. No, but you know what? I track your flight on my phone.
It's pretty easy now.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I know, it says it's coming in 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to walk out and be like, oh, shit, you're here. Yeah. Because, you know, I got a text alert.
I had a guy from a club show up late because my plane landed early. Late night. So now instead of a 1 a.m. pickup, I'm in at 12:30.
Right.
And the airport is empty. And you know, we're flying red eye. Yeah. And I got pressed the next morning and he pulled up and he's like, how long you been here? I said, I've been here for because then he gave 15 minutes the end for me to get my bag. So I waited 45 minutes.
Right.
And I said to him, I go, didn't you track my flight?
Yeah.
On the phone? You know what he said to me? Can you do that? And I was like, yeah, man. You could definitely do that.
I hate even more those kind of people that don't, because they're acting like, well, you know, I don't want to be inconvenienced.
Yeah.
You know, this is part of the deal.
But it's your job.
It's your fucking job.
Yeah, it's your job. It's your job.
Get to the airport, bro.
You know what? And I know some people get on me specifically sometimes about, you're picky about your travel. I spend half my life on planes and in hotels. So it's like having a second home.
Yeah.
So I'm as picky with my travel as I am about my actual house, right? Because I spend equal amount of time in both places. So I'm not crazy, but like, you know, if you say 12:30, 12:30.
Some hotels need to change their name, you know, like just call it Inn and Suites.
Yeah. Don't
put words on it that you can't
live up to.
Yeah. Like the word quality. This is an Inn and Suites. If you want to put the word so-so, I'm with you. So I'm at this hotel, and it's 14 miles away from the club.
No,
so I know
I'm out on that.
Listen, I know something's up already. Okay, and I should have saw this in advance, and that's on me. So I'm going to my people now, like, yo, don't just sign off. Let's see what's going on here. The guy comes the next day. I'm like, well, you know, all right, what's going on here? I'm at a truck stop. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
There's nothing around, dude. Look at me. There's nothing here. There's a church in the parking lot, and there's nothing around. How am I going to eat? Where am I going to go? What kind of mood you going to have me in, you know? He was like, well, the other hotel was sold out. It's usually right by the club. Okay, right? My agent, he goes, hey, man, they got rooms, you know? So I moved. And I thought I was being a diva.
No, dude.
Until I got to the new hotel, and I physically felt better.
No, dude. I'm with you all the time.
You know, I was like, oh, I'm in a better mood. There's
yes.
Starbucks. There's restaurants. And I was like, oh, now I'm ready for this, you know. And I was like, oh, this is so important. So I'm making a more effort to be like, no.
It is. I always get in advance what the hotel is, where it is, and then I usually book my own. But the big thing, you know what it does for me? Honestly, you know why it sets me in a sour mood? Because right away I'm like, oh, this is what you think of me.
That's what we think, but it's just like
no. But I know that's not.
Yeah.
But what it is listen. If you and I get in business together, and I say to you, hey man, come on out. I'm gonna put you up at a hotel, and one hotel is $100 a night, and it's 14 miles away, and the other one's $20 more. Yeah. So 3 nights.
Yeah.
Is $60.
Yeah.
That you're getting into business with me and you're going to fuck up our business relationship over $60. That tells me a lot.
Well, what it is like, no, see, I know, I see why you take it to a more personal level, but to me, I look at it as like, I see what they prioritize more. And it's just like, it's just money and that's it.
But that's what, I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, we are.
I think we're saying
the same thing. It's still like an approach where it's like, you know, the person, you could just say to them like, yo, you know, was this worth... Yeah. Was this what's happening worth that? And they might even realize like, I guess it's not, you know, because they ain't even $60. I don't care if it's $100 more a night.
No.
Like at some point you go, has to be a priority.
Comfort.
You know what I mean? Yeah, comfort is a priority. I mean, people don't realize, they think like, oh, it's like, no, people that don't travel a lot don't understand like how much what's around the hotel is important.
I mean, once around another hotel is super important to me because I don't rent a car.
Yeah.
You ready for this? So I was doing a Funny Bone, the one in Kentucky, right below Cincinnati. They used to call it the Cincinnati Funny Bone.
Yes.
Okay. You know that one?
Yes.
By the way, I saw 2 fights out in front of that club that ended up on World Star that were amazing. But I'm in a hotel, right? And this is what tells me a lot. So I go into the hotel, and you know what I always do when I walk into a hotel, by the way? Before I walk into the room, I will take a book and I will throw it into the room and let it land.
Uh-huh.
If there are critters on the rugs, they feel vibrations. They jump right on the book, and you can hear it.
Really?
They feel vibrations. They can't hear or smell, but they feel. That's how they feel your feet, and they jump to your ankles. It's the vibration. So I'll throw it in there. I make sure it's white cover.
Uh-huh.
And if I see anything land on it, I'm not walking in. So I'm in this hotel, and I wait just a second. And usually, if there's any, you might hear a t or a t.
Uh-huh.
Dude, this was and I looked, and there was probably about 8 or 10 little. So they're like little fleas or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I go downstairs to the front desk, and I say, "Hey, there's bugs in my room." And the woman behind the desk goes, "Oh, are you in 317?" And I said, "What?"
Oh my god! Like the implications of that it infuriates you. You know what I mean? Like,
I said,
okay, so you know there's bugs in 317.
That's what I said. I go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, we thought we'd get rid of those." And I go, "Let me see your manager." Manager comes out, and I go, "Hey, there are bugs in room 317 that you knew about?" And the manager, you could see, looks right at the front desk girl.
Like, bitch, why?
Yeah.
Like, why you got our business out here? You got our business out here on the streets? He's like, go to my office, and I will talk to you when I'm done with this. Then he turned to you, sir, is there anything that we could do to...
That's exactly what happened. But they said, "Can we put you in another room?" I said, "No." And I called the club. And I said, "Hey, this is the deal. I'm moving hotels." And the club even said, "Yeah, we thought they'd cleared that up." And I was like, yo, what are we doing?
The levels of like where they just don't really care.
They don't care.
They just don't.
They don't care.
And so that they put you in a position where you have to care.
Yes.
And then you come across like you're the diva, crazy person.
Yes.
I can't stand that. You have put me in a position where I have to now go off.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Hate that.
Here's all I want from a hotel room. Tell you the truth. From a hotel, I would like it to be close to stuff that I can get out and walk around to.
Number one on the list of the hotel love languages.
I got to be able to get out.
I got to. If we're comics and you ask me about a club, if you said to me like, "Hey Eric, how's that club?" The first thing I would say when you ask me that, I'd be like, "Yeah, the club's cool, right?" But I'd be like, "Man, the hotel. That's what we start talking about."
Because we're gonna have fun at clubs.
They're all the same.
We're gonna
Even
have
the
fun.
shitty ones.
We're gonna have fun because we do stand up. We like doing stand up.
Yeah.
But the hotel is what makes, or where the hotel is, makes or breaks. Like I'm going to Austin in December. They're in North Austin.
Yeah.
So they put you up in North Austin. And I'm always like, no, I'm staying downtown.
Right.
I know what the deal is, but we've worked that out long before because I would rather be able to get out and walk around than to be right next to the club.
Especially where that club is.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to get out and walk around. Yeah. Man, but I'll tell you, here's what I want. Close to something.
Yes.
I would like there to be food in the hotel.
Word.
Right? That's not crazy. I would like there to be food in the hotel. Yeah. And my only other record, this is it, gym. Close to things, food in the hotel.
Not on the top of my list. But.
Gym. Those are the 3 things for me.
You.
That's it. Because if you have those 3 things, I'm going to trust that your mattress is okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Dude, that's just, okay.
The dent in the middle of the mattress, when it slopes down into the middle, is a rough one for me.
Yeah.
Where you just roll into this hole in the middle.
There's some fat person was okay. You're in their vortex of what's like, okay, this person got a fat ass in this hotel.
Let me ask you something about your stand-up, man. Because you started stand-up, went away, and came back, right?
Yeah.
What made you go away and what made you come back?
Well, the going away part was easy because like I didn't know what I was doing. And it was like there was no like plan. There was no like not understanding that this is how it works. Because I'm from LA. I was born and raised in LA, so I'm in LA. So you're in LA. Let's say like right now you wanted to start doing comedy and you went down to the Comedy Store right now. Imagine how daunting and how like just overwhelming it is to be like, just to sit there and be like, how do you get on that stage?
Yeah.
Right? And not knowing like what I know that it takes to get on the Comedy Store stage. I mean, I don't even know what I would tell my younger self. I don't know how I would like, you know, be like, so imagine like not knowing anything like that. I didn't know how to do anything. And then it was like, I didn't know my point of view. You know, it was hard. And it was like, you know, then you would go to these places, to these shitty open mics, having to pay money to perform, or I didn't have it. I didn't love it. It wasn't like what I thought I really wanted to do because I didn't do the things that was necessary to make it happen. And so it wasn't until I was older that I was like, oh, I have to cultivate relationships. I have to, you know, prove myself. I have to like be undeniable. I have to like, you know, keep writing. I have to. So once I saw the litany of things that I needed to do to become a decent stand-up comedian, was like, that was like, I didn't understand that and can organize it in my head until I was older, you know? And
how many years did you step away for?
Well, like 8, 9 years. Yeah.
Because I do remember, I feel like I met you early on.
Yeah, it was but you know, I knew a lot of, you know, it's like, it's funny because like when I started, I remember going to like open mics. I saw Jim Gaffigan at open mics, Jamie Kennedy, and I saw all these people that I was like, you're also young and arrogant, you know, so you go into like an open mic and you see the same people, right? You're like, these same unfunny fucks are here, you know what I mean? And they're doing the same bullshit, you know? And I'm like, wow, you know, I'm funnier than these people. Like, I should already be, you know, so you had those dumb thoughts in your head at the time, you know?
I will tell you, over the last 4 years, like your comedy has changed exponentially for the better. You really fell into a groove.
I'm trying.
But now when I watch you on stage, I'm like, oh, that's him.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. I feel like the things I know now that shit can happen to me and I'll go right to the stage.
Yeah. Well, to me, 4 years ago, you were still doing bits, and right now you're talking to us.
Yeah, but I'm still using the
you know, but still, I mean? It feels more
the tools of like, you know,
without a doubt. But there feels like a less performance based, and more just like, oh, this dude is really super comfortable on stage.
Yeah, it's still a 70-30, but you know, I know what you mean though. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, that's how you take compliments. You just go, thank you. You know what I mean? But
by the way, comics not usually good at compliments.
Yeah,
about
especially
their
from
acts.
other comics.
Yeah. Not used to those.
No, but I appreciate it, and it's just like, you know, that's just where we're at, because like, you know, I guess a lot of that has to do with just like not worrying about also that, you know, not worrying about like trying to please everybody or make everyone laugh, because it's just not gonna happen like that. You're always gonna have like issue. Like I have an issue too to you know, like the last episode I had Andrew Santino on, you know, and I was telling him a story about how I went to the Apple Store, you know, and you know, you wait at the Apple Store, it takes forever. And then like 2 people come over, you know, the guy's like, oh, I'm here to help you. I'm this guy's translator. So immediately I have an attitude because I'm thinking to myself, they're hiring people that don't speak English?
Yeah.
No, the guy was deaf. So technically he still didn't speak English. Yeah. Just kidding. Fuck you.
By the
People
way,
getting sensitive.
I thought he was asking it for a translator because I thought he thought you spoke another
language. That would be even worse, right?
Super funny. You look foreign.
So we're going. So you know, we're doing the comic thing. Yeah. We're going in about it. So I get this message from this kid who's like, "This was ignorant. My mom was deaf." And we were poor because deaf people don't have enough, opportunities. By the way we were talking about it was like, I was like, I just need to, like, you should tell me.
Yeah.
You should let me know, hey, you know what? This person's coming over, you know, it's going to take 3 times as long.
Dude, my wife once.
3 times as long.
Yes.
Because it goes like this. It goes, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
You got to tell them. They got to tell you. You tell me. This is going to take longer.
Yeah.
So you got to let people know, hey, you got extra time? Because we got Helen Keller in the back can come out. and you'd be like, all right, let me just. That's the funny part. We're comics. We're jokes. Okay. Here's what
I would have said no, by the way. No,
here's what the guy says to me.
Yeah.
So first I say, sorry you feel that way. Good luck with the rest of your life. Because at this point I'm like, whatever. Then he's like, you should apologize. I was like, never.
No.
That you don't understand what I'm talking. So then he says this, and this is the funny part. Okay. The kid goes, well, what if I wanted to be informed that the person is black?
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all.
It's not going to slow down your day.
But let me tell you, right. Well, unless you're at the post office.
Yeah.
Unless you at the DMV. She's like, they're like, stay in line.
Yeah, and it takes a little while for her to tape with those nails. You know what I mean?
This is jokes. This was a fucking joke. Piece of shit. But anyway, here's the thing that's racist about it. So this guy assumed that the person that was deaf wasn't black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this idiot is going like, they're going to hire someone deaf, but not deaf and black.
We're not going two negatives.
Yeah, we ain't so right.
Just one. We can't.
But the thing is people don't think.
No.
They just open their dumb fucking mouths without taking the thought of being like how fucking stupid to equate being black and being deaf. And also just hearing us talk about it and assuming that we're saying all deaf people shouldn't work. No, being deaf is a debilitating disability.
Yeah. And
it is probably hard for you to get certain jobs.
Yeah.
But you know what? You shouldn't have certain jobs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're not answering phones at the call center.
No.
You know why, motherfucker? Because you can't hear.
Yeah. I say that all the time when my wife gets mad at me because when I hang up the phone, I'm like, that person was in customer service and I couldn't understand a fucking word they said.
That's important.
It's customer service. You're serving me. I don't understand why that. My wife one time we were having somebody come over and fix our computer. And you're 100% right. You got to let somebody know, right?
Just let us know.
I open the door, midget.
Or dwarf,
whatever
the term is, whatever the term is. Little fuck.
Little fella.
Yeah.
And I looked down and I wasn't, you got to just let me know. So I didn't have the reaction, which I had, which was, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Bro, that's the exact reaction I had when the guy comes over and goes, this guy's deaf. I went, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Because now my brain is like, all right, so this is going to take longer. I'm going to have to okay. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
what was the job?
I had to fix a computer.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
But visually, just say, oh, and by the way, little person's coming over. Don't.
You know what?
Don't say anything when you open the door.
I'm actually going to disagree with you.
No, you got to let me know.
Not for that. I disagree with you. I disagree with you on that. I would say let me know if it was someone that didn't have arms.
But
and they had to take their feet and they're on your computer with their feet click.
That would be amazing.
But you'd be like, I need to know this kind of shit. But I disagree with you on a thing that nothing's being hindered by this person being a dwarf.
Except you're right.
Nothing, because they still got their little fingers.
Without a doubt.
So I disagree with you on that point.
I will tell you this though. I only said it because I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable when I opened the door. He had a reaction he didn't need to get, right? And the reaction was, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean?
So the way to do that is to be like, such and such is coming over, and there's a picture.
Yes,
you know, so you could be like they do on the Uber. You see the person's face, the name. I mean, but again though, because I think that example is different from my example.
Without a doubt.
Because the deaf person now is gonna take 3 times as long.
Yeah, but Eric, for me, it's more like I feel like I made him feel uncomfortable because of the reaction I had. Do you know what I mean?
But at this point in there, what are you going to be like? So you're going to be like, he's the dwarf. So what are you going to be working yourself up before you open the door?
No.
Just be cool. Just be cool.
But I wouldn't have gone,
hey, buddy.
I would open the door on my knees. Come here, little fella.
Yeah, so I don't know if that would have made a difference.
It would have, because I would not have looked up and then down. There was a couple things where I felt bad the way I reacted to him.
Yeah.
By the way, he did a great job. He was,
of course he did.
no muss, no fuss.
By the way, the deaf dude was dope.
Yeah.
And I told him too, I was like, I'm gonna talk about you on stage. And he was like, oh, you loved it. He was like, where can I see? He was like, where can I see you? And I was like, well, I'm on YouTube, but I don't know if.
And he said, I said see, motherfucker, not here.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it's just like we live in like these weird, like, these weird fucking times. But again, that's the thing about what I'm talking about with my comedy, just to get back to it, is that like, you don't know how a conversation we're having right now is going to affect people out there. And then it's like, my thing is like, sometimes I feel like, we live in a time that everyone's accessible. So this guy had access to me. You know what I mean? So this guy, it's personal to him. He grew up with his mom being deaf. And well, she should have tried to apply at Apple Store, obviously. I mean, you could get a job, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is like, so that was personal to him. So all he heard was those beats, those points. He just heard deaf.
But that's how people get offended, dude.
Exactly.
People take They personalize everything.
Yes.
So my thing is, you either laugh at everybody or nobody.
Yeah.
You can't pick and choose. So that same guy may laugh at an Asian joke or a fat joke, but deaf is personal to him. You can't personalize everything and just say that's not okay to joke about, but because I'm sure you guys touched on other subjects that he didn't write into you about.
Was fine. So you're going like this, ha, 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 hey, my mom's deaf.
Yeah, you can't do that. And also, it's so interesting how people now, they think 100%, he's with me. One joke, one thing you say, and you've gone from 100% in the camp to 100% out.
Right. That's what the guy said. I looked up to you and like, now you this. Yeah, you know what? Even if I stand by what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But let's say, even if I did say something ignorant, so I can't have one.
And by the way, nobody is 100% good.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And if you agree with everybody 100%, that's called a cult. That's called a cult.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Let me give you an example of something else that's like, and I appreciate how, and I don't even know this girl who I'm about to talk about right now. And so I remember the Santa Barbara, the kid at Santa Barbara, he shot up the school.
Yeah.
He was being rejected by women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had jokes about it to point out like how it's about mental health. Like we got to do, because I was like, listen, this is going to be hard for you guys to believe, but I too have been rejected by women, and I have never thought I need to kill these bitches, But anyway, I talk about it in a way, I'm being as thoughtful as I possibly can be. You know what I mean? And this is one of those issues where you go, do you talk about this or do you not talk about it? But anyway, I was at the Laugh Factory and like one of the waitresses came up to me after I got off stage, and this waitress was like, oh my God, you got to stop talking about that. There was a girl and she's crying in the bathroom because she was actually at the school. Okay. Now I hear that and I go, I can't worry about that.
No.
But here's what I appreciate. The chick went to the bathroom and cried.
Yep.
Because that says a lot about her. Because to me, she probably, I'm just assuming, but like her thought process could have been, people are enjoying this. I know he doesn't know that I was there. So let me not ruin this whole shit by acting up and removing myself because this is a me problem.
Yeah.
Didn't come up to me afterward. But sometimes I've seen it in a different situation. I saw like Neil Brennan one time was talking about something like this, and a dude was in the crowd like, fuck you. Like he was like mad because he was like, I knew those people or whatever his thing was. And I was like, in that instance, that motherfucker became inappropriate.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about this situation is like, but again, this guy came to me personally. I'm the one making it public. I'm talking about it like this because I'm just trying to talk about it to point out that like, if you don't understand the subtlety and nuance of what someone's talking about, like don't assume. I talked about this with Andrew. Like when you look up a word in the dictionary, there will be 2 or 3 meanings.
Yeah.
You can't just deny all the other meanings just because you think it means this, and that's what people do. So when I was coming up at first doing stand up, it was like hard to decipher like what, like what's my point? Because I know my point of view. I have a very distinct point of view about things.
What do you feel like your point of view is?
Well, God, man, it's hard to articulate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know I have a certain
You
way
do.
of looking at things.
You do.
You know?
You also talk about things. You come from an angle that when I hear you talk about things, I'm like, oh, I would have never thought of that.
And the thing about it too is like I have this whole thing about this handicapped dude that was delivering my groceries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It drove me bananas. Anyway, after when I finished doing the set one time, this woman comes up to me and she goes, oh man, listen, I work with disabled people, and I just really want to thank you for talking about that in a thoughtful way.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not like, because to me, that's important to like, so that's me covering myself. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm hitting points. I'm making fun. We're laughing. It is jokes. There's going to be some meanness in some areas. There's going to be some like selfishness in other areas. But when overall,
that's human, dude. Those
right.
are that's a gamut of human emotions and thoughts.
But overall, though, if a person could come to me and go, "I understand where you're coming from,"
yeah,
that's all I want. But what people do, like this kid, is he only added his point of view.
Yes,
just him. You know, just him, and no one else matters.
By the way, you should be actively looking for and listening to and watching people who you disagree with.
For sure, dude.
You should actively. I'm going to tell you, I do it multiple times during the week, and I'm not going to lie to you. Multiple times during every week, I'm like, oh, that's not a terrible point. I had never thought of that from that angle.
You know, this is why I watch Fox News.
Me too.
And CNN.
Me too.
You know, I often go back. You know,
it's like we live in two different countries,
dude. They feel, bro. They feel like a couple that needs marriage counseling.
Yes, but that's what
it
America
doesn't make any sense.
That's what's happening in America right now.
How can they be so different, bro?
Because they're not reporting the news.
Oh,
I watch
neither one of them either.
I watch
They're
Fox,
all full
CNN,
of shit.
and then you know what? When I want to see news, I go to BBC. Because when the BBC does news about America, to me, it's non-emotional news.
Yeah, but sometimes though I can't stand that looking down their nose at us like their shit doesn't stink.
Or they got some problems over there.
Yeah, this is why I don't I'm not, listen, I appreciate what they do, but I'm not necessarily a fan of like Trevor Noah and the other guy, the British guy on the other show. On HBO.
John Oliver.
It's because here's some smug foreigners shitting on our country using our platform. Yeah. I love Trevor Noah though. I've met him a few times. You know, he's a cool dude. You know what I mean? But like
John Oliver really makes me laugh, man.
I know he's funny, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, get your smug British ass out of here. Go fix Brexit, bitch.
Yeah.
So sometimes like the evil American in me feels like that, but you know, it just is what it is, man. So it's like, that's why I'm saying like, I agree with you. It's like, but see, not everybody critical thinks. Not everybody, people abandon common sense.
No, people now, your day-to-day is rooted in emotion now.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, they're not reporting the news; they're putting slants or emotion onto the news. So that's how you're receiving it.
Right? They know who they're talking to. They're talking to like, they're talking to this person who's going to be.
I hate it when Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper, when I can see their disdain on their faces.
Yeah.
Yo, tell me the fucking news.
Rachel Maddow, but you know what?
Tell me the news. Say on Fox. Tell me the news. I want the news.
Dude.
If I want,
those aren't news people.
But I'll listen to talk radio if I want that.
No.
You know what I mean?
This is the thing. Here's the problem. I see. I'm so glad you brought those people up in particular. Those aren't journalists
anymore.
They're not news people
anymore. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're opinion people, right?
Yes.
And they gather their opinions by being like on the outskirts of like news reporting. But the problem with it is that they're presenting it the same way the news presents
CNN
it.
and Fox News are supposed to be news. Sean Hannity is not a news guy. Yeah. He is basically the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
And he said a couple times, I'm not a news show. And he's not a news show, but he puts the suit on. And he's at the desk. It looks
like the news.
He's at the desk. He's got the screen behind him.
And it doesn't even matter that he's right wing because Rachel Maddow, same shit. They're the exact same person.
Yes.
With the exact same haircut. You know what I mean? They're the same person.
Yeah.
They just have they just have their own slants, but the way they're doing it is the exact same way. So it's like it's hard to like find like where can you find. So it's like that's what I'm saying. So as a person that's like, well, I'd like to see both sides. You know. By the way, and I don't like this kid. Let me reach out to this kid again. I have no problem with this guy it being personal to him.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it being personal to him. I wish it was just presented in a way like, I have a hard time hearing jokes about deaf people because my mom was deaf. That's different from like you saying my opinion about the work taking 3 times as long and this is something I'm paying for and how I'm talking about it is like, oh, that's ignorant.
By the way, except here's what the one caveat I would put on that. Mm-hmm. I bet you he and his family have a lot of great deaf joke moments.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah. So many. So why can't you take because for me, jokes are all about intent, dude. You're not a hateful, harmful person.
That's exactly the thing.
What
is my intent?
You're not out there saying deaf people should never work and fuck deaf people.
Yeah, let's put them in camps.
Yeah. Right? This is not it. You're saying you went to a store. This was your experience.
Yes.
Period. You don't have a run on deaf people for no reason. Okay?
Well, yeah, this is the whole reason why I'm bringing it up is because this shit happened to me and it gave me some feelings.
Yeah. See, to me, that's the difference between good comics and people who are doing racist or insensitive or bigoted shit.
But here's the thing, though.
By the way,
but
I protect your right to do that as a comic.
But I'm saying that there's still like sometimes you're wading in those waters.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay. It's hard to completely stay away from some of those waters because it's always going to be received a certain way.
It's couched in your personal experience.
Of course.
It's not. You're not getting up there listing off these people who have been disadvantaged in some way and just taking shots at
them. Just randomly.
That's not it.
Yeah. Well, this shit. Thank you.
It's your experience.
It wasn't random.
I used to do a joke about this dude who was handicapped, who was an asshole. And it was hard for me to be an asshole back to him because he was handicapped.
Not me.
But he was such an, I was in line at a grocery store and his wheelchair hit my feet. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna, and I moved up a little bit and he hit my feet again. And I'm like, I just turn around and go, hey man, just so you know, your wheelchair's hitting my feet. And he goes, I know. And I was like, okay. So, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you're handicapped, and I'm sorry you're handicapped, but you're also an asshole. Yeah. So that goes to the top of the list.
I remember there was this, like, when I first started doing comedy, dude, and there was this female comic in a wheelchair, or she was either in a wheelchair or she was the sister of somebody, But anyway, she's heckling me at a show, She's like, yeah. And I said to her, is that how you got in the wheelchair? Like, were you running your mouth to somebody you shouldn't have, and now you in a wheelchair? I take the stance of like, if you come to the show, you're coming and you want to be a part of everything, then I'm gonna treat you like I treat everybody else. You don't get any special treatment. When it's funny when I talk about this deaf thing on stage, because that's what I do. I'm talking about it on stage. Yeah, it's like when I say the phrase when I say the translator, people immediately. Everyone gets an attitude. It's so funny how everybody's like, oh, I can't believe that. Like, as if the person not speaking English, it lets them be okay with having an attitude. But then when I hit them with the like, well, he's deaf, then everybody goes, oh.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like, yo, it's actually the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let this person have anything extra for it. No. This is about customer service.
That's it. It's not anti-deaf. It's not anti-immigrant. Your job is customer service. I am the customer.
Yeah.
What's the best way for you to serve me?
What's the most optimal way for this to
right at
go
the top
well?
Is that we speak the same language.
Yeah,
I understand you. You understand me.
Or we have a easy communication. Yep. Like we don't need a third party.
That's not anti-you.
Exactly.
And by the way, it's not anti-them either.
Yeah,
it's basically this is the job. You wouldn't like if somebody was like, hey, I got a fireman coming over. He's in a wheelchair. You'd be like,
Exactly.
I don't have anything. Is he coming to get me in the building?
What's so funny is I have a joke just about this. I'm doing right now. It's because that's an example where it now becomes personal to them.
Yeah.
See, when you put somebody in that situation, like, now they're going to be like, so I'm like, yeah, so which one do you want? Yeah, you want the dude standing up to come save you from the fire?
Yeah.
Or do you want this guy? Like, now you're going to be like,
By the way, and then they say things like, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, what?
It ain't ridiculous, bitch. It's a real fucking question. It's a real world question. I'll go on because I want to talk about some other things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I have you on. I know you're this way, and I just thought I would finish off with talking about some current topics that I wanted to get your thoughts about.
Absolutely.
So Joe Rogan was talking about this too. He's big on this right now. But I don't know if you smoke weed. Do you smoke weed? Oh, you're a weed smoker. Good. I'm not a weed smoker.
Yeah.
But I have recently started doing 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio, 8-to-1 with vape pens. I haven't done it recently because I was a little worried about all the vaping shit that was in the news. I was like, is that really bad for you? So I haven't, and I was traveling. So I didn't get to go to my favorite weed store. But I found it very off-putting that Biden just to publicly be like, I want to be president and to have this stance against marijuana in a country where alcohol is legal. I have such a problem with that because I have personal experience with an alcoholic. And let me tell you something. I wish that motherfucker was addicted to weed.
Dude, it's not even close. If you just look medically at what the two drugs do to your body and long-term problems, and your brain, everybody's brain, I believe, has a THC receptor, which means your body was born to receive it. To receive it.
And it's all about also moderation.
Yeah.
I always say this, I don't think weed makes you lazy, but lazy people shouldn't smoke weed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not for everyone, and anything in moderation, and as long as if it's not hit. But what I'm saying is this, because obviously smoking no weed and drinking no alcohol is probably the better choice.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, let's not criminalize one.
I talk about this on stage, basically because nobody's ever gotten drunk or gotten high and beat their wife. People aren't getting high and getting in fights too often.
I know, but there are people that beat their wife that also get high.
Yes, but violence is associated way more. I went to that Lowell Farms Weed Cafe here in L.A. There's a place where you can go smoke weed in L.A. It's a restaurant.
Oh, that's great.
On La Brea. And let me tell you,
I don't like the burning, by the way, but go ahead.
The difference between being in a bar with booze and a bar with weed. Here's a couple things. There was no screaming. You could hear the music. You could talk to each other. And I'll tell you something else fascinating. You look around, nobody's on their phones. Nobody's taking selfies. People are smoking weed, eating food, and enjoying conversation. I took Sickler there the other night with Justin Martindale and Jessime Peluso. We just sat around, man, and laughed. But you have 4 comics around. People are like, let's take a picture. Let's post. There wasn't and I looked around at other tables too.
Okay, but my pushback on that is I've been to shows that you ever done a show like a weed show?
Oh yeah,
it's not a good show. Yeah.
You got to get up early.
I just think people aren't paying attention. It's they're not paying attention in the same way. It's it's like the fun that people have while they're drinking and watching comedy is not the same fun that I don't know would be the same.
True.
I don't know if we could be two joint minimum. I don't know if we could start doing that.
No.
But I don't know but I just feel like I don't think that somebody, and this is the reason why to me the liberal side. I'm a self-hating liberal because I just can't stand what the Democrats or how they're going about a lot of things.
Me too.
We're not going to get into politics, but I'm just saying to have that stance, who's that for? Who's that for? Who's clamoring for we to still say it just feels it feels so old.
Do you want to give our money, the money people make in the United States? Do you want to give that to people who are farmers here in the United States? Or do you want to give that money to people in Mexico who grow it illegally and bring it across the border? If you made it legal in this country, they wouldn't bring it across the border. There'd be no sales. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
If
we should be growing opium.
That seems like a slippery slope.
No, but I'm talking about opium isn't opium what's in Tylenol and
no Vicodin.
But whatever we're not allowed to grow that is in a lot of the drugs that we sell.
Yeah.
Just grow that shit here.
Well, here's the thing. Weed could also weed is non-addictive, so
I don't agree. I don't think that's true.
it's mentally addictive. It's not physically addictive.
But then it's addictive.
It's different, right? So if I'm taking Xanax and I decide not to take Xanax and I've been taking it, I could die. The withdrawal means I could die. Alcohol withdrawal, I could die. So weed addiction, right? So there's a little bit of a difference.
You
there.
could just stop weed.
You can stop. Honestly, I've stopped, and I smoke every day, Eric. I smoke every day, and I've also stopped for 3 months.
Yeah, I can see that because I just realized on myself too. Is like I was liking how that, I was like, ooh, I was like, at the first time, because it was the first time I did it, I was like, oh, this doesn't really do anything to me. And then I was like, then it was a moment I was like,
yeah, you can't OD. You could smoke.
I was like, there it is. I was like, I was in my car too. I'll never forget it. I was driving, and then I was in the car like this, dude. Then our son, I was like this. I was like, oh shit, this is what I've been missing out for 40 years. I was like, this is the. I was like, damn. I was like, okay, it all happens when it happens.
It's a nice feeling, man.
Yeah.
I'll take Friday and Saturday Night Late shows. I take an edible before I go on stage and then I'll tell stories that I'm stuck on. that my sober brain has not allowed me to go down certain paths. And it opens up those stories into I like to tell stories, especially on the road.
Inhibitions or
whatever.
I don't have that problem though, so that's maybe I should try it.
It's not even inhibitions, dude. It's like, oh, that door was shut. I had no idea that door was shut.
I didn't even know there was a door there.
Yeah.
There's like a fern, and you're like, let me get this fern out of the way. And there's a bookcase. Oh my God, there's a door.
It has changed my stage. Who am I?
All right.
And made it.
As long as you can, though. But here's the thing, though, is like, can that be replicated without that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what's important.
Yes.
Because there are people that I find that like it's like those drunk comics.
That's
those
bad.
comics
Yeah,
that they have to be a little drunk to do comedy.
Yeah.
Ugh, get out of my face. So it's like then it becomes like, can you duplicate that? Can you mimic it? Because we're performers, we're actors. Like I'm not always as upset as I feel like I am on stage, but it's part of the performance. So I'm saying it's like so it's almost like that's your PED.
Well, it has taught me a lot of things. You know what the most important thing it taught me about stand-up? Slow down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because there was a minute there.
You have a manic pace on stage sometimes.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I've even said that to you. It was like, if you would just take your time. Yeah.
Not anymore. I started telling these stories when I was high, and it just slowed me down. I'm like, this story's working so much better.
Yeah, they're laughing at places you didn't think they were going to laugh. They're getting different points.
And I'm letting them take in the story. It's not like an event where they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It's really letting them, I'm sitting down more. I'm standing in front of the mic without taking it out. But all that has come from experimenting, a lot of it when I've been high. And it's changed my storytelling. It's for the better, for so much better. It's been amazing.
So then, to finish that topic, it's like, do you think that these politicians should be taking this stance? Like, do you think Biden running for president should be taking this like this such a hard stance? And like I said to you before, who's it for?
It's for the people he's trying to pull over, the moderate Republicans. It's those votes that Trump got that he's trying to get back. Do you know what I mean? Wisconsin, all those areas where they still may be a little on weed. That it's for those people.
I wish that there would be someone that can explain like clearly why it's like, why are we okay with alcohol and not
money,
weed?
Man? It's money. So if I weed, Vicodin, Xanax, all these other things that Big Pharma has are going to take a hit. So if I'm Big Pharma, I don't want legal weed because I still want you.
Why?
Well, because I want you hooked on my drugs.
Oh.
The addictive stuff. Vicodin and Xanax, any of the opiates, Oxy.
You're saying that weed would replace those things?
Weed can help. Now, listen, if you need heavy painkillers, weed is not your thing. Mm-hmm. Tylenol for CBD and indicas, which will help with the pain relief. That's what I take, man. That's why I started smoking a lot to begin with, is for my back pain.
I feel like I've been doing research about this, and I'm starting to feel like CBD is snake oil. And you got to have some weed in there. If there ain't no THC in there, you might as well just use that to make your eggs.
Here's what the way it's been described to me is that everybody has an empty tank. You have to take enough CBD to fill up your tank. As soon as you fill up your tank, it works every time you take it. But when you don't have a full tank, if you just take it once, it's not Tylenol. If you take right, it's not Tylenol. It's not going to make you feel better.
Just CBD.
Just CBD. Okay. But when the tank fills up, that's when it's effective. That's why it was explained to me. Like, so my wife was taking it to help her relax with anxiety. And the first 2 or 3 times it didn't work. Then she finally took it a 4th night in a row and she was like, I feel great. Just relaxed. But I slipped her a little THC too. So no, I didn't. She one time she can't take it. She took an edible and she threw up and she thought it was her teeth. And she goes, are those my teeth? And I'm an asshole. So I was like,
of course you are.
Yeah, I was like,
baby, your teeth.
Yeah, I did. I said, yeah, those are your teeth. She lost her mind. I was like, no, not your teeth. But she was already too far down the rabbit hole.
All right, cool. That's all right. That's okay. We were interested. Okay, that's that one topic I wanted to ask this guy about.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of mushrooms too.
Oh, see, I don't know if I would even try mushrooms.
I take mushrooms every Monday night.
But people ask me about that all the time.
They're so much fun.
You know what people say to me all the time? They always go like, man, I'd love to see you on mushrooms, or I'd love to see you like really high. You know, people always say that about me.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that all the time. Man, you'd be so fun high. I'm like, I don't know.
You should try it in a controlled environment.
Here we go, guys. Maybe one day I'll do a solo episode and I'll just like fucking get
every Monday night, Eric.
blitzed.
I do a show from my backyard,
right?
Called The High Live, where I smoke weed and I turn on my camera and I just go live for an hour straight. And I go from somebody who's sober to somebody who should not be in public during that hour. But it's the most fun I have every week.
All right. Well, maybe one day I'll come and be a guest.
Come on, man.
We'll see. I just don't like smoking. I don't like that carcinogen.
We'll figure it out for you.
Yeah. If it's like, because when I had like a real bad situation with a family member, it was the first time like, I was with someone who smokes weed. And they had like a full on weed pen.
Yeah.
You know? And I was
we get your weed pen.
I was like, give me that, you know. But I didn't. I was so upset and everything that I don't even know if I let it help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's a big thing too. If your brain is like, this isn't going to work, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I had to like get to the point where, like I'm saying, when I was in the car that time, and I was like,
were you listening to music?
Yeah. And it was like, I was just, you know what? Here's the thing though. It was happening like I was outside of my body because I was thinking like, I was like, you know, you're like, man, this doesn't do shit. People always say, and then it's just a second, I'm just driving. And then all of a sudden I was just kind of like, you know, and I was like, oh shit.
Do you know
this is it?
Yeah. Do you know how I can tell the weeds work? And sometimes when I'm listening to music that I wouldn't normally like, and you're like, I'm not even high, but then you're like, oh shit, is this Panic at the Disco? You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, I like this. This is my jam.
Like, oh shit. I know what they're saying about these people. All right. The last one, and I've wanted to talk about this with someone else for so long. And so I thought when I saw you on the calendar, I was like, this is the guy. All right. All right. I'm going to put a scenario for you. All right. Let's say you're the U.S. District Attorney.
Okay.
You're whatever. Right. And Jeffrey Epstein's people come to you and they say, look, we want immunity. Right. Or 2 years federal prison, cushy. And I'll have a fund for my victims. And I'll give you 500 of the most powerful men in the world who I've facilitated young girls for. Would you have taken that deal?
Not with immunity, but with
that's the deal.
Yeah.
No, that's the deal. No, you don't get to negotiate. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the deal.
You know why I
that's
would.
What I'm saying.
You know why I would. You know why I would?
That's why they killed him.
Yes. You know why I would?
That's why he's dead.
Yes. I would because immunity. I would keep an eye on that dude forever.
But that's the thing.
Right?
So that could have been part of.
But then you're taking 500 of these fucks off the street as opposed to one. I take the 500.
I think that's what happened, man. I think that they were in the process of being like, yo. He's like, I got a black book. I'll give you, even if he said, listen, I'll give you 10 names that'll blow your mind.
Yep.
And I just feel like those dudes got on the phone on a conference call and they were like, yeah, he's got to go. And they said, well, you want us to make it look like an accident? Listen, I don't care if you burn the building down.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
Yeah. There was a fire at the prison in one cell.
There was an explosion at a pipeline. Dude, they don't give a fuck.
No, you know what? A friend of mine who works in one of these intelligence agencies, you know what he told me a long time ago? If everyone can get got. And I was like, no. He was, no. He said, I just want to let you know, everyone can get got. And I was like, because he's a guy who used to come around sometimes. I don't want to say who I was traveling with because then I'll give it away who it was. But a guy who used to come around when I was traveling with this person, and we were talking. I was like, what if this happened? What if he was like, listen, I'm telling you right now, on high levels, it doesn't matter who you are. If there's somebody above you more powerful, you can get got.
Yeah.
And there will people who will be able to get rid of you without a trace.
It's a great example of how
crazy.
Just having money, though, is not enough.
No, because there's always other people with money, Eric.
I would say power and influence trump money, for sure.
But a lot of times that is together, right?
I understand, but what I'm saying is not all on the same level.
No.
Because if, they're you know what I mean? It's not on the same, just having I have this amount of money, I can do whatever I want. I think that's the situation that guy was in. I think he thought he was untouchable based off he's like, we're all in this together. Like you're doing bad, I'm doing bad. So I know, we know we can bring each other down. So let's not. And then, but the moment that he got,
that's right. As soon as, because it got back to those other people, he's about to turn. And they were like, oh yeah, no, he's going to die.
They probably didn't even say it like that. No. It was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Press 1 on because they weren't on a regular phone. They're probably on a dial-up, with old buttons. Press the 8 if you want them to dead. Press 2 if you...
You know what? But it's so crazy because if I just told you in a movie, hey, so listen, in this scene, the most high-profile prisoner in the United States... the cameras are going to go off in front of his cell. You'd read it and go, man, that's not
possible, bro.
It doesn't seem realistic.
You know what?
And everyone's going to believe it. Everyone's going to be okay with the cameras.
Yeah.
And no guards, no cameras.
It's making movies that we've seen. We look back and be like, oh, maybe that was true. It'd be like if you wrote the script that a reality TV show host would become president of the United States.
Dude,
you wouldn't believe that either.
It's called idiocracy.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't believe it either. So it's so weird. But I know exactly what you're saying. All of the things that about the Epstein situation, you just go, how is this okay,
dude?
They're not even talking about this shit anymore, dude.
That's the crazy thing.
It's like nobody even cares. They're just so there's rich people someplace that are going like this. Whew.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good job, guys. They're at an Illuminati party. We got rid of that guy. Let's make sure that kind of shit doesn't happen again.
You know what they're like? We got rid of that guy, but let's watch the tape of it happening. They got a tape.
No, but here's the thing. Funny part. I know. Hilarious.
They got a tape for sure.
No, and here's the best part about it too. For the Illuminati people, whoever's in charge there, they said he probably turned around and said, "Let this be a lesson to the rest of you motherfuckers. Nobody is above this."
Dude, did you ever see Untouchables?
There's actually more law and order in that group too.
Yes. Did you ever see Untouchables?
Yeah.
You know that scene where he hits the dude with the team and he's walking around the table and he's talking about team and how and he hits that dude, bashes that dude's brain in with the bat. That's that scene.
Hell yeah.
Which is, hey, everybody, look.
In every mafia movie, there's some guy
see
that
this
thinks
dude who talks.
Yeah.
This is what happens, and I'm doing this in front of all of you, so nobody's above getting a baseball bat to the fucking head, and that's what happened to that guy.
Godfather. It's totally he's like, I didn't know until now that it was.
Yeah, listen, if Fredo can die, everybody can die.
Everybody can go.
Everybody's Fred. He killed his brother.
That was just some Illuminati justice.
Yeah, man.
So they said, hey guys, this was lazy. I know you guys got horrible, these horrible people that think they can do whatever they want with anyone that they want. Even they have some kind of justice system.
It's crazy to me though to hear people I saw one sign that said justice for Epstein. I'm like, that's too far. This isn't about justice for Jeffrey Epstein. I hope he got raped before he got hung. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about justice for this dude.
But but by the way though, let me not to cut you off, but just to add on to it, so you could hear my point and then continue what you're saying though, is like I am a believer that everybody deserves a fair trial, even if it's a Mickey Mouse trial.
Yeah,
because you know what? It's not for them. It's for the people that don't do crimes.
Yes.
Okay?
It's for their victims too. I get it.
Hitler needs to be on trial.
Yeah.
Even if it's going to be he's guilty, kangaroo court, but he needs to be on trial for the other people.
Yeah. Now, I agree with that. Like, I agree that that's for the victims, but I also don't feel bad for this dude.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
the situation he put himself in. No.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's not about feeling bad. It's to support our justice system. Like, you know, it's because even someone like that, if someone like that can get a lawyer and get a fair trial, then Joe Schmo, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, we live in a system right now that it's like only the people that have money get the fair trial.
That's it.
Or the best work done.
There's no doubt. Like, to me, maybe the criminal justice system is racist, but to me, it's more about money.
Yeah.
If you got money, you're gonna help. If you don't have, if it's a public defender, 100%.
Yeah.
OJ was just like, hey, so it doesn't matter if I'm black. Yeah. I got a lot of money, and I'm just gonna keep riding this. And they just hammered it, but didn't help Cosby. But
he's an example of somebody that he got his trial.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Don't you just want to see a day in the life of Bill Cosby in jail? If there was a reality show and you're like 24 hours of Cosby in jail, I would tune in for that.
But it's like that thing, you can't say that without being like, and of course the proceeds go to all his victims.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
I just want to watch it. I want to see what happens to him.
Wasn't there a report that he's like, they love him and he's doing great in there?
You think he gets everybody's jello?
I don't know what he like. It's like
they gotta love him. They grew up on him.
I don't know what jail's really like.
No.
When you watch like Lock Up or one of those type of shows.
My brother was in jail for a while. I think 6 months. And it's exactly what he said. He said, you have no idea what it's like. No matter what you've seen, no matter what, you have no idea what it's like. There was one time, recently, I was just in court supporting somebody. And I was...
you gotta... You may need to reevaluate your choices, man. I don't know. But that was Josh Wolf, everybody. Let me get them the fuck out of here.
I said to him, my brother, I was talking about, I go, yeah, they kept bringing people out from the back before they got to this person. And he said, yeah, there's a cell underneath the courts where they hold people. And he goes, and you know what's not down there? I said, what? He said, cameras. I said, what do you mean? He goes, oh, shit goes down in the jail underneath the court. He was telling me he was like, one dude walked up to me and said, because he had just gotten these new shoes.
Right.
And he said, hey, man, let me get those shoes. And my brother was like, if I say no, and he was a Hispanic guy, it's just, even if the other Hispanic guys in the jail don't know him, it's them against me.
Right.
But if I say yes, they're taking shit from me.
Yeah.
Every fucking day.
Oh, God.
Every fucking day. And he said, I said, no, man, you can't have my shoes. And the guy was like, I'm gonna need you to give me those shoes. And so my brother was sitting there like, oh man.
Here we go.
Yeah, because if they do jump me, they're getting the shoes.
But at least they know they have to fight to get
Anyway.
Did they get the shoes?
They got the shoes.
Your brother's a bitch. Just kidding. That's terrible.
But it's a lose-lose situation.
Oh, I want to see your brother now and be like, yo, bro, what's up with them shoes?
Let me get those shoes, man.
You got to have every time you have them on your show. It Puma sends shoes.
Here's
which I
the
use
deal.
all the time.
Oh, by the way, there's a nice box.
Yeah.
He said to me, I said, tell me what the story is. He said, well, the guy, he didn't even get violent with me. What he said to me was, he said, listen, man, they've got me. He said, they want me to roll on this guy, and I'm not rolling. He said, look at the shoes they got me in. They were too small. They had holes in them. He said, they're just
even worse.
He said, they're just putting bad shit. I'm in holding. I'm in what do you call it? Not isolation, but solitary. He said, they're just fucking with me. He said, let me get those shoes, man, to just make my day better. So my brother was like, my brother thought he was going home, and he was like, yeah, this is my last day. I'm gonna give this guy. So when he went back to jail, he told this old dude who'd been in jail a bunch, told him the whole story, and he said, so I gave him the shoes, and the old dude just went, man. Like, come on, man. You get.
Yeah, it don't sound right.
Yeah.
I don't even know him, and I've lost so much respect for your brother. The fact, not even the fact that he was in jail and whatever the fuck we see, because that's where you should have, But this motherfucker gave him this shit.
Oh, he said he was like, man. He was like, he got me. He got me. It was good stuff.
Man. But listen, we keep talking forever, and I don't want to do that. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
And I'll have like all your information down below. So guys, please subscribe, follow, share, get the notifications, whatnot. You got a great podcast going on right now too. You're like blowing up, right? Facebook's great for you right now.
Yeah,
and all that.
man. And that Controlled Chaos show I do.
Controlled Chaos.
We've changed it up a little bit since the last time you were on. It's still the same amount of fun, but it's set more in a game setting.
Oh, nice.
But it's sponsored by Puma. Everybody gets.
Yeah, I've got some great shoes I've gotten from there. I wear them all the time. I got some great Transformer ones.
Yeah, man, those were hot.
Yeah, those are the best.
But every Tuesday night live, if you want to see it live on my Facebook fan page, and then it gets put on my YouTube page. I just went over 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, look at that, man. On YouTube?
On YouTube, just went over 1 million subscribers.
That's great, dude.
And so my comedy on there is just popping.
Oh, man, you just I can see you look like you got money on right now. Yeah.
Well, free
I'm
shit,
jealous.
man. People say, free things I wear.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I like a fan sent this. A fan sent this stuff right here.
Isn't it crazy?
There's a lot of great stuff.
Isn't it crazy?
This company too. Stay
have
Happy
money.
Apparel. They send me shit.
You have money, but still free stuff.
It just feels good.
It
You
does.
feel appreciated.
Yeah.
That's your love language.
I'll have to get on that.
But anyway, guys, this is Josh Wolf, and thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I will see you next week.